Right then guys, so here we are for a very momentous video, part 51 of the F1 Manager Minardi Manager series, but crucially the last proper main series video, well, on this series. Obviously, as I said in the last episode, there's going to be a few more bonus videos coming out after this one, but this is the last proper episode of it in this style now. So it's a mildly sad occasion, but we've still got one more Grand Prix. It's going to be a very interesting one, the Japanese Grand Prix. Suzuka, we got 6th place here back in 1999. And, well, I mean, we saw quite a few guys struggle to start, or didn't start, the Malaysian Grand Prix. And since then, we're going to have even more guys who have run out of engines. So, who knows? I mean, hardly anyone will probably start the Japanese Grand Prix now. And just to recap, the Drivers' Championship, well, Mika Hakkinen won that a long time ago. David Coulthard is guaranteed to get 2nd place, so we've got 1-2 in the driver's standings. Schumacher's guaranteed 3rd. And then it's a battle, I'd say, for the best of the rest, between Jacques Villeneuve and Stephen Watson. At the minute it says Villeneuve's leading it, but we'll have to see who comes out on top between Villeneuve and Watson. And also there's a battle between the BAR drivers of Lemarie and Fisichella, only 1 point in it. But then we got Frentzen right down with Alesi, Genet, Sarrazin and Minardi. The difference being is that Alesi, Genet, Minardi and to some extent Sarrazin all have pretty bad cars. Frentzen doesn't. Constructors' Championship, really I don't think there's much to play for here, apart from the battle for 3rd, McLaren on 36 points, Williams on 35 and BAR on 33, so it's very tight there actually. Any one of those 3 teams could take 3rd in the Constructors. Well yeah, let's just see how the Japanese Grand Prix goes. And Frentzen's got the race lap record here. Can he score a point? That would be nice, that would be a nice way to end this series I think, with Frentzen scoring a point. So well, let's just see how the 2001 Japanese Grand Prix goes. Okay, so here we are with the practice results, and there's some very interesting things here. Mika Hakkinen exactly a second quicker than David Coulthard, but Coulthard's got, well, I'll show you actually. Coulthard's got the 4th model engine because we got 3 4th model engines left, so we have to use one of them for setup purposes. Look, there's David Coulthard with the 4th model engine. There's Hakkinen with the 2nd model engine. So how Hakkinen's a second quicker than Coulthard? I think that just shows really how good Hakkinen has been this series, how dominant he's been. He's got a slower engine than Coulthard, but was still a 2nd a lap quicker. And that's testament really to how great of a driver he is. And then we got Fisichella in 4th, so he's doing alright because he's quicker than Frentzen. But then I think the really interesting thing is Alexander Wurz, the 6th quickest guy. I know that's not really that impressive because technically he's only in the midfield, but he's quicker than both Williams, both Jordans. What's happened to the Jordans? I have no idea what's happened there. Both Jordans at this last race completely dropped off the pace, but Wurz in 6th, he's doing very well. Yeah, I mean, 12 people have only completed practice. God knows how many people will complete qualifying. But there's still 2 Jordans. So despite the fact that Jordan used the same engines as McLaren, they've been able to manage their engines better than McLaren have. Because Jordan have got both cars here and McLaren have got none. I mean, sure, the Jordans are last and 3rd to last, but at least they're here. And same for Prost, they've still got an engine going when McLaren haven't. Unless Ford Zetec are favouring Jordan, which would seem a bit illogical. But anyway, let's just head on to qualifying. Right then, so qualifying for the 2001 Japanese Grand Prix, and the last race in this 2001 season has ended. And despite there being only 12 people that were able to complete a qualifying lap, there were still quite a few changes from practice, so let's go through them. David Coulthard takes pole position for the last race in this 2001 season, and despite the fact he was a 2nd a lap slower than his teammate Hakkinen in practice despite using a quicker model engine, In qualifying, Coulthard was able to fully utilise the extra pace he had to be 0.2 of a second quicker than Häkkinen, but during the race, when both of those guys have 4th model engines, you've just got to feel that Häkkinen's underlying pace will come and he's going to be quicker than Coulthard. Minardi's closest challenger all season, Michael Schumacher, is in 3rd, although he's 6 seconds slower than the Minardis. Giancarlo Fisichella in the BAR is in 4th, actually splitting both Ferraris, as Heinz-Harald Frentzen is in 5th, as his dreadful season carries on. Finally, we've got Jarno Trulli in the Jordan, and despite both Jordans being extremely slow in practice, Jarno Trulli has been able to make it essentially into the midfield, as he's in 6th of the 12 finishers. Ralf Schumacher's just ahead of Stephen Watson, and Watson is actually battling for 4th in the Drivers' Championship, so he's got something to play for this race weekend. So whether Ralf Schumacher will stay ahead of Watson once the race gets underway is unknown, but I don't see it happening. Pedro Della Rosa in the other Jordan is 9th, with Zanardi in 10th in the Prost. Zanardi in fact did very well to be quicker than Rubens Barrichello in the Benetton, who's in 11th, and the slowest guy in practice, Alexander Wurz. And this is extremely surprising because Wurz was 6th in practice. So where Wurz's pace has gone from practice is completely unknown, but at the very least, he has been able to complete qualifying, unlike these 10 people. Jean Lacey and Marc Genet in the Arrows, Mika Salo and Damon Hill in the Stewarts, Eddie Irvine and Jacques Villeneuve in the McLarens, and then 1 Prost of Olivier Panis, 1 BAR of Lemarie, 1 Benetton of Sarrazin, and 1 Sauber of Deniz. Right, okay then, so here we are on the race strategy screen. Ross Brawn in his last race as our technical director, which is sad. It's sad to see him go, although there's been all sorts of controversy with him. Has he made the car unreliable? We don't really know, but I do like the guy, and he's given us some brilliant strategies, and this will be the last one of his brilliant strategies for our team, unfortunately. He's predicted 2-stop strategy. Now, I've had to go off of David Coulthard's average fuel per lap figures, because he was using the 4th model engine, which is more fuel efficient. So we've had to calculate Häkkinen's fuel based on Coulthard's, and we have given Häkkinen the 4th model engine, so now both guys are on equal terms. This is the final race where both these guys are going to be teammates. I mean, next year I don't think Häkkinen's got a seat, weirdly, and Coulthard, he's going back to McLaren, isn't he? Yep, he's McLaren's number 1 next year, and Häkkinen hasn't got a seat. So actually, oh yeah, that is something. This is Häkkinen's, as far as we can tell, this is Häkkinen's last ever Formula 1 race. Whoever would have thought it? But anyway, let's just see how the 2001 Japanese Grand Prix goes. So this could be, well, we could be here for a very long time, waiting for all of the guys to retire. Now, it says oh yeah, of course Häkkinen did qualify 2nd. I forgot about that. No cars have jumped the queue this race, that's nice to see. And God, what, Häkkinen wasn't wonky when we saw him a second ago, was he? Okay, it's just showing us Coulthard got off to a decent start. Well, no surprises there. Don't tell me Häkkinen's going to pass him into the first corner. No, we're not going to see a Senna-Prost type style crash going into the first corner. I did think for a second we were going to. Not like Häkkinen's got any reason to. He's already won the Drivers' Championship. He's got close to double the points of Coulthard. What is the point? We should see Panis go out. There you go. And actually, speaking of which, Well, actually, whoa, hang on, have a look. Damon Hill, our former driver, he got a podium with us. He was a great driver, and well, what a sad way to see him go. Jacques Villeneuve, actually no, this is the interesting one because Villeneuve is battling for 4th in the Drivers' Championship. Now he's battling with Stephen Watson. The fact he's retiring and Watson isn't means how's he going to compete? Genet's out, there's another one of our former drivers out. We don't need to see a replay of it, we already saw it happen. But this is chaos. In 1999 we saw 3 guys go out at the start of the race, at the start of the final race. 2000, I don't know, I can't remember, this must be... I'm pretty certain this is even less cars starting the race properly than in 2000. I mean, what have we got, 12 guys starting? I think in 2000 it was 14 starting maybe? I don't know, maybe it was only 12, I don't know, but I know a lot of people retired then as well. There's Deniz, I mean look at this is ridiculous, you're just seeing all these great drivers go straight out. There's Deniz into the tyre barrier. Irvine, this is tragic. I mean, Irvine, is he... I can't remember where he's going next year. I think he's going to be a test driver, is he? Jesus! A 360! I love it from Irvine. Wow, that was great. A nice cut away then. We just see Salo go straight into the wall and then it cuts away. Right, Sarrazin. Yep, he's spun out. Whoa, there's the other BAR. That would be Lemarie out. Now this is tragic considering Lamarie's going to be our test driver next year. This is tragic. I mean the BAR is such a quick car. It's literally the BAR's Achilles heel is its engine because everything else in the car is great. There's Mika Salo, another one of our former drivers. There he is into the wall. No, not quite in the wall actually. Anyone else to retire? There should be someone else to retire. Is that it? Oh no, okay, I think that was it then. Right, okay, well that's interesting, but of course we still got Fisichella, Zanardi, Barrichello and Wirtz all on their last engines. We could easily see them go out of an engine failure this race, but as I was saying, yeah, as I was going back to what I was saying earlier on, well, Stephen Watson, don't tell me he retires. No, is he getting past his teammate? Well, it would be tactical since Watson's battling for 4th in the Drivers' Championship. There you go, good old Williams helping each other out there. Okay, but yeah, going back to what I was saying, but yeah, going back to what I was saying, Coulthard at McLaren next year, I find that amazing that Hakkinen still hasn't got a seat. I mean, I've played Minardi Manager save files before where, or I've played F1 Manager save files before where Schumacher and Hakkinen constantly swap seats. But that just didn't happen this series, which is one of the weirdest things to me. I was expecting Schumacher and Hakkinen to always swap seats. I was never expecting to get Hakkinen as my driver. The only reason I got him is because he was out of contract. But yeah, I mean, Hakkinen, no team wants Hakkinen. That's what I think is weird. He won the championship in '99. He won it this year. How come nobody wants him? It almost seems like every team is in financial difficulty. That's almost what it seems like. And Coulthard, well, 2nd in the Drivers' Championship at the moment. But he scored 68 points. That's more points than he scored with Benetton last year and with McLaren in '99. So actually, this has been his most successful season for David Coulthard. Anyway, that's happened. Wow, look at that retirement list. Damon Hill in 13th. Wasn't Damon Hill the 2nd guy to retire? So how he's in 13th, I'll never know. Right. Okay, so I'm just waiting really for Wirtz, Barrichello, Fisichella, and who's the other one? Yeah, Fisichella, Wirtz, Barrichello. Oh yeah, and Zanardi. I'm waiting for them to retire, but they might not, but they're on their last engines. They have to be if their teammates are gone. So I don't know. They might finish the race, but it'll be extremely unlikely. Fisichella in 3rd. Okay, well, that lasted long. He was in 3rd and now he's in 11th. I was about to commend Fisichella for how quick he is, and then now he's in 5th. And now he's in 4th. What is going on with this game? I love this game. Coulthard and Hakkinen are actually battling out the front. Oh no. Because Hakkinen... Oh no, well, Hakkinen's pitting first. Not even at the last race of the season. Even now, Frentzen can't score a point. What a stupid way for Ferrari to run a team. How come Schumacher, 9 times out of 10, doesn't have a car failure? Frentzen, sure, he's had a few driver errors. To be fair to him, I think he's had about 4 or 5 driver errors. He had one last time out, actually. But a suspension failure. What are Ferrari doing? Have they got something against Frentzen? Like, Neil McEwen never had this many car failures. Eddie Irvine never did in 99. How come Frentzen's had so many? So Heinz-Harald Frentzen, one of the most highly rated drivers of the time, in a Ferrari, the second quickest car on the grid, hasn't been able to score any points. I'll just repeat that. Heinz-Harald Frentzen, in a Ferrari, has scored no points all year. Well, that's the craziest thing this series, honestly. That's... If I do ever do that top 10... Well, if I ever, I will do. But when I do that best moments video, this has got to be on it. This is ridiculous. But yeah, that top 10 best moments video, which I'll do a while after this series is done. Maybe in a month's time. I'll get to that later on. We've also got Trulli out with a barge wheel failure. Trulli, who we were going to get... We were going to get him as our driver for next year. And in fact, we actually got Mika Salo instead of him, only because Trulli was so poor. He was amazing in Monaco. He was quicker than Coulthard in Monaco. Even Schumacher has struggled to match Coulthard on pace, but Trulli did it at Monaco. That was blistering. I nearly signed him on that one race alone, but he's been rubbish since then. I mean, now it's a car failure, but hey, Häkkinen are way out from Coulthard. That's dominant pace from Häkkinen, really. Stephen Watson's in 6th. Actually, Stephen Watson's now in 5th. Okay, at the moment, Stephen Watson is looking like he'll take 4th in the Drivers' Championship. We got Minardi out of a barge wheel failure, Fisichella out of a suspension failure, so amazingly not engine failures. We've still got Wirtz and Barrichello, they're on their last legs. I mean, look, they're right at the back of the field. If one of those guys can score points, that'll be phenomenal. I mean, Barrichello's got 9 points this year. Wirtz, I can't remember how many points he's got off the top of my head. Häkkinen a minute ahead of Coulthard. There hasn't really been much of a teammate battle this year at Minardi, has there? Not really. To be honest, there hasn't really been much of a teammate battle at Minardi since 1999. Not really. I mean, but anyway, Della Rosa out of an electronics failure. That means, well, that means pretty much everyone is guaranteed a point. So I mean, if one more guy retires, then everyone, even if they retire now, is guaranteed a point. Unless, whoa, we gotta see Häkkinen come across the line. Where is Häkkinen? Coming round 130R, is he? Is that one? No, it's not. No, that's way off, actually. No, we're coming into the first Degner. So Mika Häkkinen, a minute ahead of Coulthard. A minute? How dominant of a driver can you be? I mean, when you're in a dominant car, and even though you've got a very quick teammate, how you can still be a minute ahead of him in a race is exceptional. And, well, it's a sad day for Minardi, because, you know, we've been so dominant this year. Mercedes engines. Obviously, we've still got Magneti and Marelli electronics, but AP brakes. That's 2 partnerships. Mercedes engines and AP brakes. That's 2 partnerships. We're ending there. Also, Ross Brawn's out. We're getting back Gustav Brunner. Stefano Domenicali, he's going. You know, it's a sad day, really. We've been so dominant, but now the downgrade in so many personnel, including our drivers, you know, I mean, will we be dominant next year? I honestly don't know. Because Häkkinen, boy, has he been dominant. Really dominant. Look, he's going to come round the last corner to win the last race of the 2001 season for Minardi, for Mercedes. Get in there, Häkkinen.
Mika Häkkinen wins in Japan. Brilliant.
Well, there you go. I think we should watch Coulthard come across the line just because it's the last race of the season. Just because it's the last proper F1 Manager video. There's going to be 3, maybe 4 more coming up within the next month or 2. Although most of them will be coming out in the next week. It's just the best moments video which will be coming out in a month or 2's time. But It's the last race of the season, and Coulthard, he's done very well. He's been more successful with Minardi than he was at Benetton last year and at McLaren in 1999. And bearing in mind, at Benetton he was the best of the rest. He was insanely quick. His teammate was Jean Alesi, and he completely trounced Alesi, and now we look at Alesi as an amazing driver at Arrows. So Coulthard was phenomenal in 2000 to be that much quicker than Alesi, and we revere Alesi. So Coulthard, it's been his best season ever in Formula 1, and with Minardi, he fought for the championship. Unfortunately, he just couldn't quite do it, and he's going to take second at Japan in 2001.
David Coulthard has finished in second position.
Well, is Michael Schumacher about? Don't really want to wait for him to cross the line, but there's Schumacher. I think we should just give driver of the series, I would say, because not every driver has been a race driver for all 3 seasons. Häkkinen hasn't, and Schumacher, worthy title contender in 99. He was a genuine title contender in 99. 2000, dominant, took pole position at every single event, and now this year, bearing in mind the Ferrari's downgraded, I don't think they've got a Roy Brunner chassis this year. So Schumacher in a weakened Ferrari has actually done exceptionally well. You got to give credit to him, so I just want to give a shout out to Michael just for being such a quick driver and such a good rival. And you know what? He's coming around to the last corner. We'll just watch Schumacher come across the line, because I'd say my nomination for driver of the series, because he's been so consistently quick. I mean, sure, he's had the best cars on the grid, but And, oh no, he's still got some more laps to do. Just as I was talking about Schumacher as some kind of god, he's still got some more laps. Well, right, okay, we'll let him do his laps. He's got another lap to do, okay. And while we're watching that, Wirt's out with a driver error. That means Barrichello's guaranteed a point. Well, there you go. Mika Häkkinen won the Japanese Grand Prix. Coulthard second, Michael Schumacher third, Ralf Schumacher fourth, and both Schumachers third and fourth, and actually, Ferrari next year have got Michael and Ralf as their 2 drivers. That is a dominant partnership in the making right there. Stephen Watson 5th, I believe that means he's just about taken 4th place in the Drivers' Championship from Jacques Villeneuve. So Stephen Watson, in his debut year, outscored his teammate and outscored Jacques Villeneuve. Well, he's outscored everyone apart from the Minardi drivers and Ralf Schumacher. Stephen Watson, very, very good this year. He's been an impressive rookie. I'd say even more impressive than Lemarie, which is annoying since I've got Lemarie. Maybe I should have got Watson, but hey. And then Rubens Barrichello down in 6th, and I do feel sorry for him because, well, he joined Benetton, and, well, look where Benetton were last year, and look where they are this year. Massive drop. So let's just continue on, and, well, that's basically the end of the season. Now we just got to see if there's any news. I don't even know if there's any news. Of course, there's a Salo with their electronics, I think. Prost with their electronics. I think there's a few things left to confirm. Nothing major, really. Minardi dominated at Japan, the last race in 2001, and as the news says, we dominated it. Well, I'll say my goodbyes in a second. Ross Brawn just telling us there, best regards. That's nice, I like that little ending. Stefano Domenicali, all the best from Stefano Domenicali. And Neil Oatley, how does he end his email? Oh, with regards as well. And actually, at the end of the season, Williams were competing for the aero development race, or at least the suspension development race. So Williams really were doing well at the end of the season. We saw it on track, but Neil Oatley spotted it as well, so there you go. And Ferrari actually, aerodynamically doing very well. I think Ferrari have got Roy Brunner off the top of my head. I just look at this and I think they do. I don't think they got a Roy Brunner chassis. I think that's what it is. But I think they have got him as their designer. Anyway, let's just see. Well, it's the 4th of November. We've got, that's it. That's the entire season done. I'm just going to wait till the end of December, see if there's any news, and then, well, just say my goodbyes. Right, finally, we've got some stuff confirmed here. I mean, Prost and Sauber, they've been rumouring stuff for ages. Ford Cosworth for Sauber. That will be good. Hopefully they've got that, actually. Finally, this will be the first time that a team has negotiated a good engine contract, like an upgrade. Apart from us. Please tell me Sauber have done it. I keep on saying Sauber make boring announcements. Please tell me Sauber have done something good. No! Oh, Sauber, you had a really good opportunity there. Rumour with Ford Cosworths. That would have been great. That really would have been great. And they got Petronas. No. They've blown it. Absolutely blown it. That was a good opportunity for them and they've blown it. Components deal for Prost, Tag Electronics. Nothing really to say there. Sauber, Brembo brakes. Sauber, you had such a good opportunity to make a good announcement. I know you would have had to have changed your logo to Sauber Ford, but I don't care. You should have done it, or Sauber Cosworth. But that was a massive opportunity they blew there. Massive. And hopefully, right now this could be. Please tell me they've replied yes. Yes, here we go. I've wanted this for a long time, and the timing of this is perfect. Because this is winner F1, and considering we've dominated this year, I've wanted this sponsor for a long time. It means we got rid of PlayStation. I would get rid of Red Bull, but their contract's still going, and I just really want winner F1. And there you go. So there you go. We've got the champion sponsor and the winner F1 sponsor. So I think that sums up our team very well. We're champions. We're winners. We've won F1. What more can I say? Unfortunately, that means we can't have PlayStation anymore, but hey, they were with us for a long time. It's kind of gutting, actually, considering we've just gone for Honda engines, so the Japanese company, but can we still get AGIP? We can, yes, okay, so if I would ideally get rid of Red Bull, someone did comment recently saying, can you please get rid of Red Bull, it's plastered everywhere. I would do, but their contract, I think, is still in existence until the second race of 2002, and I can't even terminate it even if I wanted to. But oh wow, what a look of that car is. Even if you ignore the Red Bull plastered everywhere, I think that is a look of a car. It's got Frezza and AGIP for the Italianness. We've got champions to show we're champions, winner F1 to show we're winners, Red Bull just because Red Bull, hey. Well, there you go. Right, well apparently Stewart just loved copying us because obviously they took their driver lineup this year was our two drivers from last year, and now they got our former sponsor. I mean, Stewart, I'm not going to blame him for copying us, but I mean, there you go. But Stewart just seemed to like, we may as well make Stewart, I mean, you know, if Stewart wants to be our official B team, sure, go for it. I mean, I've got no problems with that. If Stewart want to be our B team, I'll happily set that up. I don't think Paul Stoddart will set that up, but we'll get to Paul Stoddart in a second, really. Yeah, but yeah, let's see. Any other news? Oh, I'll see if there is any other news. Right, Neil Oatley, I'm sorry to say, but there's no point. The 7th model of front wings and rear wings. Have we ever made the 7th model before? I don't know. It doesn't seem like we've ever made the 7th model before, but I think someone forgot to tell Neil Oatley that the season's done. And you don't carry on, you don't carry over your new rear wings and front wings and all of that, you don't carry them over to next year, so why is he still bothering making new parts? Him and all of his, how many assistants has he got? 134 rather. Why are they still bothering working? I don't know. That could be a way to cut costs if Paul Stoddart really wanted to cut costs. Just get rid of most of the people from working after the season's done. Right, so that's it. End of the season, 31st of December. And let me just say my goodbyes, really. Well, Neil Oatley, I don't need to say goodbye to him. We've got him next year. But Neil Oatley, brilliant. His chassis. This was the first year we were able to use one of his designed chassis, and it made the world of difference. Honestly, Neil Oatley, I cannot thank you enough. Even though you're kind of wasting our resources designing after the season's done, but still, fantastic design. I mean, brilliant in 2000, and then fundamentally, if we didn't have him, we probably wouldn't have won this year, the Drivers and Constructors Championship. Ross Brawn, some controversy around you. Have you been fitting parts badly? Have you been making unreliable parts? I don't know, but I do love Ross Brawn. I think he's such an amazing guy in Formula 1. One of the most amazing and impressive people in Formula 1. And to be fair, some amazing race strategies from him. Fundamentally, he didn't do anything too badly wrong. There wasn't any bias, because I think in the end, Hakkinen had just as many retirements as Coulthard did. So fundamentally, Ross Brawn, he did alright for us next year, but we did alright for us this year, but next year, 2.5 million, that's a lot. Hence why we got Gustav Brunner, much cheaper guy, and he wasn't too bad in 1999. And then Stefano Domenicali, great guy, love the Italian connection, and he's been with us for a while, and he's good. I mean, he just negotiated the winner F1 contract, and I believe he negotiated the champion contract for us. So, you know, I can't thank him enough for getting those sponsors with us. But next year, Massimo Cusimano, also Italian, cheaper, and also just the fact that he seemed to be in 1999 just as good at negotiating sponsor contracts. He negotiated our PlayStation 1, so I don't know, but he's great. I'm looking forward to see an old Minardi personnel back on the team. Mika Hakkinen, as I've already said, dominant driver. I think it's criminal that no one is having him as their driver next year. That's criminal. He won the Drivers' Championship in 99, he won it in 2001, and in dominant fashion in both years. Well, even more so this year. In 99 he was fairly dominant come the end. But how come nobody wants this guy? I mean, he's half price of back in 1999. Criminal that no one wants him. Absolutely criminal. I would keep him, but as I said, Paul Stoddart just wants to cut costs. So Luca Badoer, welcome back to the team, and I did really want Badoer to get a race seat again, and finally he's got it. And then David Coulthard, our second driver. Very good as a second driver. A bit unlucky with car retirements or car failures at the start of the year, but very good, very solid driver number 2. Couldn't have asked for more, and this year was his most successful season in terms of the number of points he scored. Next year though, Mika Salo. I mean, Mika Salo is exceptional in 2000, just on his performances in 2000 alone. It's impossible to reject the guy. When he's half price, and when he was that good last year, how can you say no? And then the test driver. Well, this year we had Luca Badoer. He was phenomenal in pre-season testing, both this year and last year. But of course, he's been promoted to driver number 1. We're getting Patrick Lemarie, a very impressive rookie. Got a podium at the start of the year. I believe he got 3rd in Australia. His debut race, he got a podium. I believe that's something, you know, Jacques Villeneuve, I believe that's something he did. Lewis Hamilton also did it in his debut race. I believe Kevin Magnussen did. That's a great list of drivers, and Lemarie is also on that list. That's why we've got him in the team. We need to keep him within the team, because he's a future star for sure. But, well, that's how I wanted things to go at Minardi. Well, let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship. Hakkinen, 120 points. That's actually 6 more points than he got with McLaren in this series in 99. So, Mika Hakkinen, even more dominant in a Minardi this year than he was in a McLaren in 99. And David Coulthard, well, he got 30 more points this year than he did with McLaren in 99. And 25 more points this year than he did with Benetton last year. Michael Schumacher, 3rd. Very good driver this year, very good. Stephen Watson, the rookie in the Williams, claiming 4th in the driver's standings. He's got more than double the points of Ralf Schumacher. Stephen Watson, the most impressive guy this year. Maybe I should have got him as my test driver instead of Lemarie, but Watson, a definite future star. I can't even remember. I think a team has signed him up for next year. I would really hope so, because he's done exceptional, especially in the later races anyway. Constructors, what can I say here? What can I say? Minardi, dominant. 194 points. More than McLaren got in 1999. More than Ferrari got in 2000, but of course Ferrari was basically a one-man team. Williams 3rd in the Constructors, so they did overtake McLaren at the last race, so massive congrats to Williams. And amazingly, Prost, despite them being the slowest in pre-season testing, Prost scored 2 points this year and Arrows scored none. So poor Arrows, I have to say. Not quite as good as their Takaki days when they were scoring points. Good old Takaki. Manager rating, well there you go, I've finally wrapped that up. I should have won it last year, I blew it right to the end, but finally I've won the Managers' Championship. Ron Dennis, despite all of his crazy signings, is the second best manager. Whoever would have thought it? Paul Stewart 4th, Craig Pollock 3rd, Rocco Benetton, rated the worst manager. But, well, I mean, what can I say? I just want to say, my team that I had for next year, that's kind of not really happening anymore. And also you may have noticed that normally, at this point in the video, I would say let's head on to the next season. But that isn't the case either. Unfortunately, I have decided to leave Minardi because Paul Stoddart being so incredibly stingy with his cost cuts with his money is ridiculous. Because he still insists we're in future financial troubles. I mean, we got 61 million in the bank now. There's no way we're going to lose that before March. I don't know, but that's just what Paul Stoddart is insisting. The chairman, Marco Rossi, I know we hardly ever get emails from him. We do at the start of each season with the objectives. He wants to be still on the team, but Paul Stoddart's the owner. He's the one who calls the shots. Rossi wants me on the team, but I just cannot deal with Paul Stoddart's constant cost cuts. And quite frankly, Stoddart, he's so insistent on it. He seems to think he's got a great idea on how to run the team. So if he thinks he's got such a great idea, I'll leave him to it, really. And, well, I'm going to leave the team, that's it. This is my last race, that was it. That's me, my era with Minardi done. You're going to see a few more videos. You're going to see a little extra video at the end of this one. You're going to see a summary video come out tomorrow. The Season 3 montage, be sure to check that out. And then in about a month or two's time, I'll hopefully try and get out a top 10 best moments video on this series. But from all the people at the team and all the people back at Faenza, the people I never mentioned, but all those assistants to all of our heads of department, all those hundreds of assistants back at Faenza, I'll see those guys later. Hopefully on the grid in 2002, I'll be watching as a spectator. And I'll see you guys for the Season 3 montage and any other upcoming videos, including the 2002 season, which will be coming up hopefully in about a week's time. The 2002 season will still be covered. Do not worry, that will be coming up in a week, maybe 2 weeks' time. So I hope you guys look forward to that, and I'll see you then. Ambition. It's never been lacking. Hey guys, and welcome to my F1 Manager series, in which I'm taking Minardi to be the best team around in F1. So Minardi to win the Drivers and Constructors Championship. Points. Podiums. Wins. 1-2s. Even track lap records. Finally though, in 2001, my third year with the team, we hit the big goal. Championships. Both the drivers and constructors. What a rise to glory Minardi has had. You think Minardi, you think a small Italian team, start off with one car. But thanks to some great guys, Badoer, Genet, Mazzacane, Hill, Salo, Owen Green, Mika Hakkinen and David Coulthard. Not to mention all the guys behind the scenes as well. Minardi in the 21st century became one of the F1 greats. After 2001 though, they hit financial turmoil. Big time. A few more points finishes, and some controversial ones at that. Even setting the fastest time once in 2003, the team that rose from nothing faded out of its guise as Minardi, turned into Toro Rosso, owned by our former sponsors, and so the end of a truly epic era for a magnificent team with an amazing ethos ends.